Begin DVR session.
Hi Gaetan, it's Johnny in London. This is lesson 7 video review for your DJ Ableton course. Hope it's going well. Yeah, warping acapellas is always going to be a tough one, to be honest. And actually, the representation of warping techniques within live, and using acapellas, the videos and all the data that you've got in this DJ lesson is actually some of the best out there. It's very, very difficult to teach this, simply because unlike the familiarity of dance music, where you can kind of guarantee certain things, with an acapella, a freestyle vocal, anything goes. And live tends to deal with acapellas pretty differently, depending on how they're structured, where the transients are, and that can be down to how it's been recorded. There are so many variables here, so it isn't surprising that a lot of people have problems with this. I'm going to show you a couple of techniques here that will make your life a little bit easier. And I can see what you've done here. You kind of put the acapellas in, you've had a go at warping, and you've added some beats. That's all good. I just want to focus on this basement jacks one to start with. This is actually, again, a good one to practice on, because it has a nice mixture of kind of repetitive rhythmic properties in the vocal, and a healthy mix of vocals, just standard vocals, verses, for instance. So let's take this first stretch here.
Where's your head at?
Now, if I just put the click track on,
Where's your head?
straight away it doesn't sound right.
Where's your head at?
And there's one simple reason for that. It's just your start point's wrong. At the moment, we've got this dead air at the beginning of the clip. And what we need to do is move the transient, the first transient, which is here. So I just created a warp marker there. We need to set grid position 1 at this point, not at the beginning of the clip necessarily. So I'm going to right click, get the warp menu up, and go to set 111 here. And now when I fire off the clip,
Where's your head at? 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 Where's your head at?
so that first stretch is fine now. The warp markers that Live has put in, they're always going to help. And when you access the warp menu, just warping from here, you could try out a few of these different ones, but the most important thing is that you set your start point first. Once that's right, everything else kind of gets easier. So next thing I'm going to do is actually copy this clip. Excuse the car alarm going off outside my apartment there. It's kind of noisy today in Islington. Okay, I'm just going to duplicate that clip first. So I'm just going to hit Apple D on my Mac, or Command D on a PC. And I'm going to rename this as well. I'm going to just call it Where's Your Head At Chorus. So that's kind of the main chorus section that we've just got there. And before I go and do anything in this second version of that clip, I'm going to go back into the chorus clip. Play it off from the beginning.
Where's your head at?
And just take that chorus section, and using the looping brace, if I just drag that in from the right hand side, I'm just going to set that around bar 1 to 9. Just making sure that the start point of the loop is in the right place as well. And now what I'm going to do is crop the loop. So I'm going to right click anywhere in clip view and go to crop sample. It will take a second. There we go. Actually, I've made one mistake here. I didn't put my end marker at the end of the loop. There we go. This is going to work now. Okay, so we've got our start marker, our end marker, and the loop brace working round this first 9 bars. Okay, again, right click, crop sample. There we go, that's better. Now we've got a kind of like a bite-sized chunk. And this is a good way to work when you choose an acapella to work with, and you want to do like a mashup or an edit or something. Pick the vocal that you want to work with, and get to work on it. You know, make duplicate copies. So we've got the main hook, the main chorus here, and now we're actually going to move on to the next bit of the a cappella in the next clip. And before we crop any sample, we always make a copy of it. So we've got the full thing and unedited, for instance, underneath. So I'm going to move the start triangle up to here and see what we've got.
Okay, are you ready? Operator, are you ready? Where's your head?
Okay, now this little bit of vocal here, they're just known as ad-libs, where they're little kind of vocal hits that kind of preempt maybe a verse or a chorus. So let's separate them as well. And I won't do anything particularly crazy with them right now. I'm literally just going to highlight them and separate them off. So again, we're going to go in and put them around.
Okay, are you ready? Operator. Okay, are you ready? Operator, are you ready?
And it's here the vocal starts, isn't it? Yeah. Alright. So 2 ways to select a loop as well. If I just highlight this bit of audio here and just hit Apple L or Command L, that's highlighted that little section of audio. Let's crop that as well. Okay, so we'll call that little bit ad-libs. So I'm just hitting Apple R on my keyboard there to rename ad-libs. Right, actually that needs to be ad-libs 1. There's probably loads more. Let's go into the clip again. And this little section here is just the chorus. We've got that. We've already got that. That's the first 9 bars that we did earlier. So let's work through the track a bit more. Let's go to here. This is where I think the first verse kind of begins. Let's get that start triangle in the right place. And
don't let the walls cave.
Yeah, okay, so 1 1 1 here. Let's try this now.
Don't let the walls cave in on you. We can't live on.
Okay, now the phrasing of this vocal, and that's where the actual vocals are within the bar, is a little bit different. And I've got a feeling that these start here.
Don't let the wall.
So I'm going to actually put a marker halfway. Actually, I've got to make sure I get this right.
Don't let.
Actually, it's here. It's halfway through the bar. The last beat of this bar, I think, is where the vocals kick in. We'll soon find out if I'm right.
Don't let the.
So I've got a 1 1 1 here.
Don't let the walls cave in on you.
Yeah, I was right. I thought so. And that's just come from knowing the vocal, kind of playing it in my head and thinking about where the beginning of the bar is in relation to the start of the vocal.
Don't let the walls cave in on you. We can't live on without you.
So live is actually, you know, in the first case it's warped the clip. Now all we got to do is set our start points, make sure that each bit of the vocal starts in the right place. So just try things out. I mean, if you'd, for instance, if you'd started the vocal from here, and you know,
don't let the walls cave
right.
in on you.
So you could try some different places. Like I was going to try there. Let's see how this sounds. So right click, set 1 1.
Don't let the walls cave in on you.
Still not right. I need to go further back. It was this one. And this is the one that's correct.
Don't let the walls cave in on you. We can't live on without you. Don't let the walls cave in on you.
Okay, so as the acapella plays,
we can't live on without you.
Make sure that
don't let the walls cave in on you. You get what you give, that much is true. Don't let the walls cave in on you.
The chorus.
You turn the world away from you. Where's your...
Yeah, so again, from bar 17, we've got all this. We've got all this from those first 8 bars. So now we want this section here. So again, I'm just going to zoom in. You're going to have to do quite a lot of zooming and moving around within clips. Okay, so Apple L.
We can't live on without you. Don't let the walls cave in on you.
I'm just going to make sure that this vocal sits in time. For instance, here, over time, it's kind of slipping out of sync a little bit.
Without you. Don't let the walls cave in on you.
So I'm just going to clean that up just by moving that up to 9.12.
Without you, without you. Don't let the walls.
Actually, that's in the wrong place. It should be there. There we go.
Don't let the walls cave in on
That's
you.
better.
You get what you give, that much is true.
And lastly, this is the beginning of the chorus here. So I'm going to move that up to the end of the bar. And now we should have that stretch. The vocal perfect.
Don't let the walls cave in on you. We can't live on without you. Don't let the walls cave in on you. We can't live on without you. Don't let the walls cave in on you. You get what you give, that much is true. Don't let the walls cave in on you.
Okay, cool. So we need to copy the clip down. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of these clips for a second. Copy this down, Apple D, rename it. This is our verse 1. And now I've got that there, I've got my start marker. I need to move the end marker to there at the end of the loop. Right click, crop sample. So I've just repeated the same, the same pattern 3 times now. We've got a chorus. Let's put your beat in.
Where's your head at? Where's your head at? Where's your head at? Where's your head at?
Let's go for the verse.
Don't let the walls cave in on you. We can't live on without you.
And so on. Now the ad libs, it's a little bit of weird phrasing here.
Okay, are you ready?
Operator, are you ready?
Okay, are you ready?
So this isn't necessarily a loop as such. It's more a piece of audio that you would slot in to kind of lead up
Okay, are you ready?
to the verse.
Operator, are you ready? Don't let the walls cave in on you.
So what we're doing is breaking the full a cappella that we have here, full a cappella, into component parts. And that's a really good way to work, especially if you're gonna, put an edit together or a remix or, or mash up. Break your vocal down into parts, and then of course we can just give them different colors and maybe pull them over into arrange view. So that's the verse. Let's give them that red. There we go. And now we've got these nice blocks that we can work with.
Don't let the walls cave.
Whoops, back to arrangement. There we go.
Where's your head at? Where's your head at? Where's your head at? Don't let the walls cave in on you. We can't live on without you. Don't let the walls cave in on you. We can't live on without you. You. Let the walls cave in on.
Did a bit of audio editing there. Just going to get some, just using duplicate there.
You get what you give, that much is true.
And just highlighting bits of audio and chopping them up and copying them over.
She's true. Don't let the walls cave in on you.
And you can very, very quickly, as I've just done there, kind of create nice little edits and cuts on the vocal. That's much easier to work with when you've got, smaller clips, smaller little sections of your vocals. So that's what we need to do. I want you to either work with this Basement Jaxx one, or pick one of the other ones and kind of pick it to pieces bit by bit. Hopefully that's helped with the warping acapellas. And yeah, I'll talk to you online soon. Peace.